What I find to be ironic is that they have an hour-and-a-half podcast talking about me. So who is the one chasing the clout here? I don't know, but I don't think it's me. I don't think it's me.
Let's talk about the lady with the rug, and they had to bring the police and detectives and excavators and cadaver dogs to basically find out that there is in fact not a dead body underneath her lawn.
Like, oh my God, they're gonna call homicide? It's gonna be my own episode of true crime. R.I.P. Truly. R.I.P. But holy shit, would that not be kind of cool?
You have no idea what I'm talking about. I will give the briefest of briefest rundowns because I was away when I was on holiday when all of this was happening, but I was definitely watching. And since we've moved past, you know, what is in the rug, he's been getting quite a lot of pushback from different creators, some bigger creators, some smaller creators, and people are starting to question, you know, what is actually going on when she's now convinced that there is something buried underneath her tiling.
But I just think that what we're experiencing now is a very calculated thing of going viral, and it just sort of feels a little forced at this point.
I do come in peace, by the way, so I don't want this to be like a huge attack on Casey. I don't want this to be an attack on Rug Lady. I just want to give my thoughts and feelings and break down the sequence of events that has led to her getting pretty annoyed at certain creators, calling them bullies, for kind of questioning her motives behind everything that has just happened.
Spreading misinformation, spreading lies, and making a random 34-year-old mom in Ohio cry. That's what you won't see.
And if you don't know who I'm talking about in terms of big creators, I'm talking about the girls from the Do We Know Them podcast. They did a whole bit on Rug Lady, and Rug Lady was not very happy. If you really are completely unaware on who Rug Lady is, Casey, at the beginning of October, she made a video where she was talking about the fact that she thinks her house could be haunted because there was a laptop that had smashed, and then also there was this like face cream or something had been moved.
My house is haunted and I'm freaking out. Like, I'm literally shaking. This is my sunroom. This is where I work. I sit here every day. There's a playroom here, doors here. I worked in here last night until about 6:30. Everything was fine. Shut my laptop. We close these doors so the dogs don't come in here at night. No one is in this room. The screen shattered. This stuff down here, hanging off. But the kicker for me is that this that only goes on this shelf and only goes on this shelf ever, up here. Bit of important information. So we're building a fence, and back here, we dug a hole. There is a rolled up carpet buried underground.
She was almost convinced a couple of videos later that it was actually the old lady who died next door, who had the windows boarded up, that could in fact be haunting her house.
Police were here yesterday looking at the carpet and deciding what to do. He mentioned that he was the one who came when the next door neighbor died. My neighbor died in their house. She can't haunt a house that is literally destroyed, right? Like, who's gonna haunt? That's no fun. That would be boring. Why not haunt the next door neighbor? The same day that my computer gets broken and my desk gets strewn about, they started boarding up the dead lady's house. Feels sus. It feels like, hey, if they're gonna board up my house, I'm just gonna hop over to the next house and haunt them and their day up.
Her and her husband wanted to erect a post or put a fence up, whatever was going on. So they dug down a little bit and they found a rug. Now this rug would become topic of conversation, like the topic. It was like, who TF did I marry? That big. It was actually worldwide news. Okay, people were talking about it because it became such a big hubbub that yes, they did in fact have to go and have the whole shebang. Cadaver dogs turned up. The cadaver dogs ended up sitting on the spot, which made the police then act. We then had all sorts of people coming over and actually excavating. Rug Lady Katie was documenting this whole time.
And if the rug, fingers crossed, is bodiless, I still want to know who is haunting me and broke my computer and threw my desk around in the middle of the night.
Now, obviously, there's a lot of little bits in between, but one of the things I did notice is that from the very beginning, she very much wanted to try and include the old lady dying next door, the house being haunted, and then also a rug turning up. And one thing I did notice, which I'm sorry, I did notice she was very excited about the prospect of there may or may not be something underneath her lawn.
My God. Okay. I just got off the phone with homicide. They just called me. They are sending detectives and cadaver dogs here in the next hour. Oh my God, I saw my phone ringing and it said Columbus Police. I said, this is fucking. I answer the phone. He says, hi, this is Detective Cornnut. I started to black out. We heard about your situation and I don't know why the police, I don't know who they called, but they did not call homicide because we want to come. He said, if the dogs do note something, your house is about to become a fiasco. So yeah, within the next hour, homicide detectives and cadaver dogs are going to be here in my backyard.
You can definitely tell that her tone shifted a few videos along when the police actually turned up and were excavating. It was obvious that she was then a little bit shaken up, but she did go on and she did say, you know, I'm going to be on a true crime podcast, now I'm famous, etc, etc. She quite literally went from like 6,000 followers on TikTok to, I think she's now got over 2 million. So yeah, big stuff. She also created merch as well, which is just up here. She created merch and she got a lot of pushback for this, like so much pushback. If you think, oh, Amy, why would you say she was excited? Why would you say that? If you read some of the comments on the earlier videos, there's one that says the excitement is weird. I'm confused why you seem so excited. This is a bad thing. So the merch thing, I'm not just gonna drift on past this. The merch that came out was not brilliant. This was before she even realized what was in the ground. This is when they just saw the rug. So she was extremely quick to make the merch and have it distributed. I don't know how she did that within a few days, but she definitely did. If you go and look on her LinkedIn tree, you can still go and find a lot of that merch. One that stands out to me is that she's got one with a shovel and a skull saying just keep digging. She's got a hat saying what's in the rug, I'm here for the update, and then she's then got one with 2 dogs, although one of them appears to be a Doberman, and I've got a Doberman, and the dogs that were there, I don't believe one of them was a Doberman. Anyway, I'm really picking fault here. I think as well she was live streaming a lot of the excavating, and once they then found out that actually there was nothing, they took the rug out and apparently it was rubber.
I don't know. I'm so confused. There's no body. There's no body. Honestly, let's praise the Lord. There's no body. I can stay in my house. Everyone knows where I live, but at least it's not haunted by that. But who broke my laptop? Who broke the laptop? Because we've still got the next door neighbor that died the day I moved in. Her house got boarded up the day my computer got broken. So I don't know.
Internet news, it goes so quickly, so of course loads of people then were like, oh well, there's nothing in the rug. I won't lie, I did read a few comments saying, is it just me or am I really disappointed that there's nothing in the rug? And I just want to take a second to say, I personally thought it might have been a dog, or because there was a tree that was put there, I thought maybe it was put there as a barrier for the tree, because sometimes when you plant specific trees, sometimes they need barriers around them and rugs, etc., materials. That was one of my guesses. I feel like I need to explain it, but there could have been something quite serious, and I feel like the internet, as a lot of true crime does, took it and were almost disappointed that there was nothing there. Before they knew there was something there, they were wanting it to be something there because they wanted, you know, all of this excitement and hubbub about maybe finding a body, which I do find strange. So shortly after we found out that there was nothing in the ground, she then came out with this video and said that her account was hacked or money had gone out.
Well, you know you've made it when you get hacked and robbed. I got robbed. Anything I've made from my lives is gone. Should I take this as a compliment? Do I take this as there's criminals who are watching my TikToks? We're trying to make light of it. As we know, this is how I handle things. I'm so angry. I got robbed. I'm famous.
Many people, including creators, were very quick to point out, and I'm not saying she's lying here. I don't have TikTok, so I can't comment on it. But people are saying that actually they wouldn't have been able to take TikTok money out because TikTok doesn't release funds until a certain like a Wednesday of the month or whatever. But she says it's from lives. Once again, I don't really know how that works, but she fell for like a phishing email scam, which is very easy to do, you know, but a lot of people were then very suspicious about that. I think it's very coincidental, but I mean, anyone can fall for an email phishing scam. It was only a week or two ago, so this is not old news by any stretch of the imagination. People were mostly interested in what was in the hole in the ground, and now she is convinced that there is something underneath her tiling.
This square is cut out, and if I remove this tape, I can actually pick it up and see the earth below. I just taped it up. I thought nothing of it, put the dog bed over it, called it a day. Now I question things. I've never had a sunroom. Maybe every sunroom has this. Every sunroom just has a square that a human body could fit down if they wanted to, and they leave it open it any time they feel like it. Maybe that's what every sunroom has. That's what I want you to tell me. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want you to say. I don't want you to say that it's not normal, because then why the there?
Yeah, so she's going underneath there and trying to investigate, and she says that there's like a bit of carpet or something. I don't know. I really don't know.
There's carpet. Wait, I'm actually kind of freaked out.
I feel that she's now found her audience in the true crime area who are just utterly convinced that the cadaver dogs were actually telling the truth, and that there is still a body somewhere underneath her house. Basically, people are absolutely convinced, and if you don't believe me, go and read her comments, because people are saying, no, you should go dig here, dig there, get an excavator, tear up your house, you should be lifting it, forklifting it up and chucking it away and just digging around and making a construction site.
People saying that I faked it or I knew this was going to happen. This is unpredictable.
Now we're at this point. She has had a few people have come out, and I've got a few TikToks and I'll share them here and there, of people coming out and just being a little bit side-eyeing her a little bit, in the sense that people kind of feel that she's extending it by going, oh, there's now something underneath here, something underneath there.
This may be an unpopular opinion, but is anyone else getting weird vibes from Rug Girl? Like the fact that she keeps overly boasting, ooh, I'm famous, like... What? Just posted some video about how apparently her TikTok got robbed and she lost all of her money. And I don't know, maybe it's because I'm from Canada and I can't get paid from TikTok in the first place. But like, I don't think potentially finding a dead body should be about money.
Oh, she's now got such a boost of an audience who are there solely for this reasoning, that she is going to continue down the path of, you know, trying to make it seem like her house is haunted, whether or not you believe in that sort of thing or not. Basically giving the audience what they want, okay? The audience want there to be a body, they want there to be a ghost, so she's going to continue doing it. Does that then mean that she is then putting on an act? Maybe. She was actually featured on the Do We Know Them podcast. The girlies, they spoke about her, breaking down all the TikToks. They did a good job. I'll leave it linked in my description box. You've probably seen it. If you've come across this video, you've most likely seen it.
In the hole around the house and fill it in.
Yeah.
And so it could have been any of that.
That's crazy.
The elephant. She's getting
Those
so many
dogs
gifts.
really
It's
tricked
insane.
us. They got the entire world drinking this.
Yeah.
Ooh, and me. I was like, I'm gonna have to move. This is scary.
You're gonna have to move. Girl, you would have opened up museum. She would have made it like, a spectacle, honestly. If that was a dead body, she would have been doing backflips.
To me, she seems like, even look at her, like she's like, fuck, what am I gonna do now?
I mean, also, maybe, oh my God. At this point, it was 193,000, and I just said it was 162,000 a second ago. It was so many eyes on her. I don't know if she was just nervous, but it does look a little bit like she's disappointed. Maybe we're reading too much into it.
She's panicking because she's gonna let down all of these people, which, like, I guess valid, but also, like, maybe you shouldn't have done this.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have brought them along for the ride.
Rug Lady was not very happy. Rug Lady was absolutely furious, and she came on and she basically said that they were bullying her.
I just wanted to come on here really quickly and let you know that what you will never see on my page is being really and spreading misinformation, spreading lies, and making a random 34-year-old mom in Ohio cry. That's what you won't see. I just had the pleasure of watching an hour-and-a-half podcast of these two really, really kind girls talk about me and call me a clout goblin about 765 times. What I find to be ironic is that they have an hour-and-a-half podcast talking about me. So who is the one chasing the clout here? I don't know, but I don't think it's me. I don't think it's me. A lovely DM asking to send them screenshots so that I can prove all of their lies wrong. Will they give a shit? Probably not. They don't seem like the kind of girls who would. So I just wanted to let you know what you will and will not see here on my page. Will I make you laugh? I hope so. Could I make you cry? I don't know, maybe. I like to be vulnerable. I like to talk about hard shit. I end up with 2 million followers after this entire escapade. Yes, we can all look at my profile and see that. Should I never post again because of it? Is every post I make ever again from now on for the rest of time clout chasing? What would you like me to do? Delete my TikTok and start over? I think that sounds silly. But let me tell you, I also think it's silly to spend an hour and a half in the year of the Eras Tour to go onto a podcast to bully someone who you don't know, to bully someone who was absolutely normal and had 5,000 followers 2 weeks ago and was posting about her miscarriage. That's what you choose to do with your time. That's what you choose to do with your voice. That's what you choose to do with your platform. You do you, girls. It won't be here. It won't be happening here. So you can trust that anytime you see me on your feed, it will be kindness. It will be laughter. It could be tears. It will be anything but bullying.
And she has along the way sort of alluded to the fact that, you know, she doesn't care, she doesn't care about the haters, that people are saying stuff and saying that she's making it all up and she's there clout chasing. I'm not really sure. Is she going to end up just literally turfing up her whole entire house just to make her community happy? I don't know. It doesn't surprise me. I will say the one thing that did get me about the whole thing is that she was kind of jokingly saying that she was going to invite people round to dig. I don't know how truthful she was meaning that, but she said it to a fairly large audience. And I believe she's got a child at home. So that bit kind of took me back a little bit because now people know where you live. If I were her, I would move just because I wouldn't want that many people knowing exactly where I live, especially if you're then talking about it potentially being haunted and all this. You never know. There are some weirdos on the internet. They might just turn up with some shovels and just say, hey, I'm here for the dig party. Let's just start digging. So for that reason, I would probably leave.
That's gonna be that, guys, because I cannot keep digging this shit out. If someone has tools and shovels and wants to come to my house in Columbus, feel free to help. Otherwise, mystery remains.
What do you guys think about this whole rug lady? Do you think it's fair that she's getting pushback for the way that she's handled it? Do you think that she handled it just well? I would love to hear everyone's thoughts and feelings on this. Have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I will catch up with you guys in the next video.